Three-step drop. Steps up and sacked at the 25-yard line. Caught at the 40-yard line on the right side. Cuts left to the 35. Breaks a tackle 30. 25 far side of the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. In trouble. Throws to the right, and he throws an interception. You got to be kidding me. An absolute killer. And the game is over. The Cardinals season is over.
We're going on the beat with Around the NFL writer Marc Sessler. And Marc, you and the rest of the ATN crew are doing a roster reset series. We're looking at the Cardinals right now and their additions and subtractions this offseason, what they need to do to get ready for 2015. Right off the top, you get better and you make a divisional opponent worse.
Yeah, I look at this as the clear second best team in this division right now. The biggest loss for me, not even mentioned on this list, is Todd Bowles, your defensive coordinator. He's gone. And you've also lost guys along that defensive front, so you're going to have to work to keep that Arizona defense where it was last season. They used the draft last year to do a lot on offense, so I think the offense is in a good place, but it's about keeping balance in a tough NFC West.
You mentioned the departure of Todd Bowles. We know that he liked to rush the passer and leave his corners out there in coverage, but with his loss, what is next for this team's pass rush?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to restock. You've got to find some young guys that fit this system. Darnell Dockett is gone. Dan Williams is gone. At this point, it looks like you've got Matt Shaughnessy and Alex Okafor as your pass rushers. That's not exactly premier talent at that position. I look for them to absolutely look towards the draft to find young pass rushing talent. You know, this is a flexible system. They can find guys who mix and match with Calais Campbell up front on the defensive line. That's a great anchor. You got to find young guys to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, we saw Randy Gregory there from Nebraska running drills. Is he the kind of guy you see fitting on that line?
Well, sure. I mean, I think there's interest in that kind of a player. He's got some issues as well with some concerns off the field. But, I mean, listen, why not? I mean, the Arizona Cardinals are a team that's known to take risk-type players as well and make that work. I think that, you know, when you look at Coach Bruce Arians, you got one of the best leaders in the league. So they're gonna find a guy that they believe can come in and help right away.
Darrell Washington's been a guy that has helped this team in the past, but he's still suspended, indefinite, so we don't know when he'll be back on this roster. When you look at the rest of their linebacking core, what's next for them?
Well, I think it's another situation where you've got to find more bodies because they didn't completely fix this in free agency. You know, Sean Weatherspoon, he's got 7 starts over the past 2 seasons. A nice player when he's healthy, but not a guy they can rely on. Kevin Minter across from him. So they've got to find another anchor here. If Washington can come back, that absolutely changes the position group. He's one of the best players at his position. Hasn't played in a year, obviously. May not be in the best football shape, but if he is, that helps a lot.
The Minnesota Vikings say that Adrian Peterson will play Minnesota this year, but really this rumor mill will not quit, and certainly the Cardinals, one of the teams most often mentioned as a destination for him. Whether or not they get Adrian Peterson, what is next for this anemic running game?
I don't think it's going to be easy to trade for Adrian Peterson. It's going to get harder and harder every day, and the cost is going to climb. Minnesota doesn't want to give him up. I think they've got to continue to they got Mike Iupati on the line. I think that's a big addition to get that line toughened up in the NFC West. Andre Ellington is a nice back in space. I don't like what they tried to do with him last year. I don't think they do either. He's not a guy that you can hand the ball to 25 times a game. They've got to find a early down guy, short yardage guy, a hammer, someone that you can complement Ellington with. I expect them to do that. If they can ever get Peterson, you've got to look at the Cardinals as a sneaky team to take the NFC West because he is angry. I mean, let's be honest. He wants to get back on the field, put him in that offense with that passing game. Very scary.
Well, I think they're a sneaky team no matter what. Certainly one of the biggest issues for them in 2014 were injuries, and somehow Bruce Arians still managed to make this a playoff team. If healthy, how good can the Cardinals be?
I mean, listen, with Bruce Arians at the helm, if Carson Palmer were to stay healthy and have the kind of season we saw last year, they get into the playoffs, anything can happen at that point. I think this is a very resilient team that believes in itself. They got a chip on their shoulder, and in the NFC West, the big thing is not getting eaten up in the regular season. Just get into the playoffs. They did that last year. You repeat that and you stay healthy at the quarterback position. Arizona, I'm not really sure we know what the limit is for them. They could do a lot of damage.
All right, good stuff as always. Thank you very much, Marc. And of course, if fans want to see more about the NFC West on our Roster Reset series, keep an eye on NFL Now or visit NFL.com/roster reset.